and we might as well say that's a great segue. Let's stay right here.
Yep.
We spoke about how your issues with the Boston Police Department.
Yes.
Right? And how they target you.
Yes.
They have it out for you.
Yes.
You spoke about a fight that took place with LOX, Ruff Riders and the LOX D Block. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Made Men, right? That was the two clashing crews, right?
Yep.
And Styles P told the crazy gladiator stories about how niggas leaking in blood, talking about, I want more. And
right. Very,
I love the story. Shout out to Styles. I love the story.
Shout out to LOX, shout out to shout out to Jada Styles for sure, Sheek, for sure.
So can you give me some insight on what took place? How y'all niggas even got into that beef?
You know what? Like, as most situations, just miscommunication. A lot of miscommunication. You know, when you look back, the beef really had nothing to do with me or them. It was a situation that took place with a chick that was in Virginia, because we had been on tour. And one of the guys that we had on the Def Jam promotion bus, we had our own tour bus, and then there was a Def Jam promotion bus that would go ahead of us on tour, and they're the ones that would put all the poster boards around the city and promote it before the tour comes in. So when the buses are coming in, you're seeing poster boards riding through the city, right? You're making it a big thing, big promotion. You know, back then, this was like kind of pre-internet, so everything was about the street promotions, you know what I'm saying? So we had our own guy that was on that bus on the Def Jam. Remember, it was LOX, it was the Ruff Riders, Cash Money, and Made Men tour. And, you know, we had one of our guys, Jermaine, that was our promotion guy on the bus. Jermaine, you know, the whole tour, you got to understand, was going good for us. You know, we was humble. This was our first big tour. We was grateful. We wanted to make sure there was no problems coming out of us for the tour, because we wanted to keep going. This was big for us. This was our big shot. We had been trying for so long. We had guys down in our groups, you know what I'm saying, getting killed. We've been through a lot as a group, and just as young men growing up in Boston dealing with the streets, this was major for us to go on our first tour. This was like our dream come true. We had been on tours before as RSO and even as Made Men, but they were promotional tours. This was a fucking sold out tour. Every city we went.
Made Men was lit. That group, man. I rock with that group. I ain't gonna lie to you. I liked the mighty RSO because y'all had the Bruins jersey, and I'm hip hop baby. I never seen niggas rep Boston to that degree. So I liked it. I like when hip hop keeps expanding.
For sure.
Some other niggas can do it too, right? But Made Men was official.
Appreciate it.
I think we was all rocking. That's when the music even got better, in my opinion. The music, the quality, even I was digging the music.
And your
solo shit went good too.
Yes, appreciate that.
I'm just going on the timeline and I'm just showing people. But the Made Men. So now, with that being said, continue with how that shit went down with you. So Styles P's there, right?
Well, let me just tell. So
okay,
just to kind of go up to that, so people can understand what it really was about. So Jermaine, so I think it was in Virginia or Baltimore where Jermaine had seen some girl who had DMX's key and was like, "Where's X? Where's his fucking X? He just left me in the hotel. Where's he at?" Jermaine ends up getting with the chick, smashes her on the bus, right? He smashes the chick on the bus. One of the Def Jam promotion niggas says, "Yo, that's X's girl." Him and Jermaine start thumping on the bus. They kicked Jermaine off the bus in that city. I had to fly Jermaine back to Boston. You feel me? And we skipped Ohio and went straight to Boston. We had 2 sold out shows at the Fleet Center in our home city. We've been waiting for this. We've been on tour for 3 weeks, gone in all the other cities. This is finally we getting back to our city. This is the biggest thing ever for us. So we finally get back. I fly Jermaine in. They're still in Ohio. So Cash Money, we skipped that. We came straight to Boston. Cash Money and Ruff Riders was doing Ohio. When Jermaine gets there, Jermaine tells us the story. He's like, "Yo, this is what happened." Now, Jermaine he's just a promotions dude. He don't start trouble with nobody. He minds his business. You know, he's down here getting paid. He's earning his money. So he's not fucking off. He said what happened. He met the chick. Chick was like talking shit about X. He smashed the chick on the bus. Whatever happened. That night at the Fleet Center, the first night, we kill it. Sold out, destroyed it. Oh my fucking God. You don't even know. All our families. I brought my son on stage with me. He was 7 years old at that point. This before Coy was even born. And he said his little rap on stage with us. The next day, we come to do another show. We do our show. We like 50 deep. We go into the off to the side. Now we never watch these niggas perform because on tour I have rules. As soon as we perform, we get on the bus and we out. We ain't no fraternizing, ain't no fucking up. We out that motherfucking building, so there's no problems with us. We don't want to fuck this up. It was an Alan Heyman production. So we would always have our rules. We'd never watch them and we'd leave. We watched them this time because it was Boston. Now, in any other place we went to, we got our guns in by the DJ things because we'd always have to go through metal detectors. So we got the straps in through the DJ cases, right? Every show. Boston show, there was the same detectives that Styles and them talking about. They was all there, right there at the end of the Fleet Center when you came in. So they searched out, and we knew it. They searched everything. Like we couldn't have gotten that bitch with a pen if we wanted to. Just showing you that we was in there with no straps, no knives, no nothing, because of the extra security that was put on there because of us, because we in Boston. All right. So now, when we're sitting off to the side, someone runs upstairs and says, yo, DMX wants to know where's Ray at, where's Jermaine? It was a rapper Queen Pen, and she's crying because she was one of the girls opening up too. She was like, yo, I guess they was downstairs, and they're like, X is like, where's Ray at? Where the fuck is this Benzino? Where's Jermaine? Or who the fuck they, you know? So she crying. So I'm like, hold up, what's going on? Now, mind you, I'm sitting on the side watching Cash Money at this time, right? DMX was coming next. I said, we go straight in the side. I grabbed Jermaine. I told all the niggas chill. I'm gonna go down there. I just grabbed 2 niggas and Jermaine. I didn't want to grab a whole bunch because it just gives the wrong, you know what I mean? I surely didn't want that to happen in Boston. All that was on my fucking mind the whole time. We go downstairs. It's loud as fuck. If you ever been downstairs in one of these places, the hallways are real small. They're real thin, all right? People are in their dressing rooms. When I'm down there, some doors are closed, so I don't know. I don't know where X is at. So I'm asking for X. Yo, y'all seen X? But it's loud. Maybe some people can't hear me. Y'all see X. I get back there. I see Ice Pick J, who's with Ruff Riders, God rest the dead. When we get to the back of it, Styles comes out the room. It's like, Ray, what up? I'm like, Styles, what up? I was like, come here, bro. Let me holler at you. I said, you know where X? I'm trying to straighten this out with Jermaine.
Hey, Zeno, try not to go too far back from
Okay. I said, I'm trying to straighten this thing out with my man Maine here because there's some shit going on with X. You know where X is at. As soon as I say that, all my niggas come rushing down. Now, I told them niggas to stay up in there, but they came rushing down, you know, granted, to make sure we were straight. So we deep with niggas in the small-ass hallway this way. All Styles niggas come in, they deep. Because in Boston, them niggas just drove right up 2 hours. So he got extra niggas up there. So they deep in that motherfucker. So
yeah, they ain't far from New York. You got niggas.
So we
got
deep, they deep. The only discrepancy I think that in Kiss and Styles' story was like we was like 30 deep and they was like 10 deep. It wasn't like that.
Oh, okay.
We might have been in the hallway. We probably was about close to 20 deep, 15, 20 deep. But you got to realize in the front you can only fit about 6 people. So it goes back. It's not like, again, it's a small ass corridor. So it's not like you could fit 20. It's not like we 20 deep this way. We 20 deep going back.
But
right?
to his credit, 15 could feel like, I've been beefing my whole life. 15 could feel like 20 niggas at
Absolutely,
times.
because he looked like, to be honest, they looked like they had about 15, 20. I don't know how many they had.
Yeah.
But they looked like they had a lot.
It'd be like that.
So what happened was, and this is to my mother, Jermaine's standing there really like Jermaine's just a young nigga, a YN. He's just standing there with a blank look on his face. Not necessarily like mean mugging him, but these young niggas don't talk too much. So they just like this, and they don't smile at all. Like, niggas don't smile at all. So his face is just plain. Styles like, yo, why you looking at me like that? Next thing you know, a water bottle from my side comes over and hits them. And then that's when everything broke loose. Now my brother Porky's behind me, right? Pork grabs me, pulls me back, and then Pork was the one that hit Styles. So that's how Styles got his nose, because the blood was coming from his nose, and then Styles had the knife, reached over and got Pork. It was either him
so he stabbed Pork after.
It was either him or Sheek. Just cut him. You know what I'm saying? He had to get stitches right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, but like Pork is like my brother Pork is he's no fucking joke. Like, man,
he's
no
like that.
joke. Done did a bunch of Fed time. He just got out. Just got out on some other shit we could talk about. But my Pork is quiet and he's no fucking joke. Like,
that's your blood brother?
It's my baby brother, blood brother, and he got a real ill rep in the feds. Like, a lot of people respect and got love for Pork from all over. So, Pork, a couple of guys on my end got stabbed because they had knives. We didn't have any knives. So one of the guys picked up this kind of like, I don't know where the fuck he got it. It was almost like a cement chair or something, and cracked the shit out of somebody on their side with it. I think his eye was damn near hanging out. I mean, there was casualties on both sides. It was injuries, not casualties. There's injuries on both sides. And it only lasted for not even 3-4 minutes until the police was spraying all kind of mace and security was spraying mace. We immediately kind of got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, with people stabbed and going to the hospital, man, we like, niggas is going crazy now. It's kind of like, it's not like I'm just the one that's like, okay, we gonna get her, like, and I'm pressing all the buttons. By then, niggas are on, niggas see, Boston niggas necessarily don't go for like a one nigga telling them what to do. Everybody pretty much already knows what to do around each other when something happens because we've been dealing with each other so long. The automatic reaction is to go surround the bus. The automatic reaction is to find out who's in the emergency room at Boston City Hospital. So niggas is scrambling like a motherfucker, but there's a lot of police. The police was there in extra order for us anyways. So now this is what they were waiting for. When we squashed it with them, because at the end of the day, right, this shit wasn't over us. It had nothing to do with us. It had nothing to do with the LOX, and it had nothing really to do with the made men. Throughout that whole shit, I was hearing how, you know, Swizz had got on the phone and was screaming, like was in one of the rooms that never came out. X never came out the room because niggas was beefing. The room doors are still there to the dressing rooms. Niggas never came out the whole time. Mind you, they was there that whole time. You know what I'm saying? I heard Swizz was going crazy. I heard a lot of different shit. We ended up getting with D and Y. You know, me and Dave had respect for D and Y had respect for us. We've been doing business. It was always love and respect. We ended up meeting at the restaurant a couple of days later, squashing the whole thing. And that's when Kiss told me that, yo, Ray, I don't know what you did with the police, but they was asking us how come we didn't kill you. And, you know, I was like, that wasn't nothing to me because, you know, since 16, they've been busting at me, chasing me. Like, you know, there's a trial, it's called the fourth trial.
Hold on, your screen froze for a little bit. Hold up. Yo. Your screen frozen right now, Zeno. Yo. Yo. Oh, that shit froze. Damn. That bit froze. Let me see. Yo, Zeno. Hold on. We on now.
So there's a documentary that I want you to watch called The Fourth Trial on Netflix, and it's about a good friend of mine, Stutter, who a cop was killed, and they kept having hung juries and shit. But this was one of the dirtiest cops from the dirtiest cop family in Boston called the Mulligans, and this was Joe Mulligan. So all of a sudden, he got his brains blown out by a sleeping in front of a Walgreens. But when I say this is one of the dirtiest cops in Boston, he had wooden teeth, fake wooden teeth, and he'd be by himself. And he'd have to, he had the Mercury Marquise, dark blue one, old one. When I say this motherfucker used to come on the block, try to beat the shit out of niggas, I mean, shoot. He done shot at me like 3 times, chasing me. Now, whether he was trying to shoot me to hit me, because I'm like, damn, like he keeps shooting, he's shooting in the air, but I would keep getting away from this nigga when he got killed.
Hold on. This shit is freezing a little bit. I don't know why it's freezing. You got good reception? You on the internet? You connected to your internet?
Yeah.
All right, because your shit blurred a little bit now. I don't know what the fuck happened. The reception, but go ahead.
No, I can see you good. So yeah, so Boston, like the gang task force, I mean, they've been trying to fuck with me for a long time, and that spilled over to the federal investigation with the Source magazine years and years later. Like it just never ever stopped. You know what I'm saying? But that particular night, that was true. Cause they came to Kiss and say, how come y'all didn't, kill Benzino? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't surprised. That wasn't nothing surprising to me. But
so them niggas out for you.
I mean, they're gonna be out for any nigga that has some type of influence in Boston. If you ain't doing something with a baseball, basketball, football, or hockey puck, they don't want to fuck with you up there like that, anyways.
Yeah, but you obviously was making noise in the city because it seemed like you. I don't know. I don't hear the controversy behind that trails you in that city. For the stuff that you're telling me, then how LOX and them and how Styles P and Jada and them confirmed certain things. That's another thing. Where was Jada during that fight? Because I heard Styles was getting busy.
No. It was really. I just remember Sheek and Louch was front line. You know what I'm saying?
Was
Jada,
front line.
I don't know Jada. Jada was there, but look, everybody understand. In every group, there's always somebody that there's always gonna be that one that you gotta. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure he's straight. When people started questioning Jada's street credibility or whatever, man, I just was like, that's bullshit. Like, Kiss came up with all them niggas, but not everybody's gonna be the frontline fighter. Not everybody's built for that. Everybody's built for different things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I was on the front line and I could have been fighting, but Pork grabbed me up. He literally pulled me with one hand. He's bigger than me. Mm-hmm. And he was protecting me. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? I could have been stabbed. Like that shit could have hit me. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was just, the hands were flying everywhere. Niggas was beefing, and
but you was front line though. But Jada was pulled. Jada wasn't there.
Jada was there, and Jada, because he was on the front line, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? I think somebody might have just pulled him up out of there too.
Okay.
I think one of his niggas might have grabbed him too.
Okay. So you ain't really see how Jada was moving. You just
I didn't really, nah, because everything went quick. You know what I'm saying? Everything went real quick. You know what I mean? But, again, it's unfortunate, man, that even Pork and Styles had to go through that again. Because this shit was all over a bitch in 5 states ago.
It's always
like,
what
the fuck, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, that
shit
shit is fucking disgusting, But, we survived it. It's a story now, you know what I mean? It's an urban myth, man, and you know what I mean? Everybody survived it, man, and you move on, you know what I'm saying?
But I want to get some clarity though. Remember, on this platform, they want to know this is a legendary story. This is Maine, Boston versus New York Ruff Riders, Yonkers. I want to hear the story. Right. So you saying Sheek was on the front line though.
Front line. I know, yes, front line. Yeah. Sheek was throwing things. I remember seeing Sheek. And they had a few niggas, just like we had a few niggas. I mean, we was going at it. Everybody from each side was going at it. And if it would have went longer, then I'm sure more niggas would have been able to get blows in maybe on both sides. It's just that it didn't go that long. So whoever was that first wave of attack in the front, that's who was beefing. The niggas that was in the back, the third line back, they wasn't able to get no blowing because it was quick. It was fast.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to confirm that because we heard Styles P And he gave his perspective and vivid story. I enjoyed the way he told the story. You feel me? So I want to hear from your end, like how does Zeno see it from his eyes?
Now, the way, again, man, like I don't want to minimize anybody that got hurt in that, because at the end of the day, I didn't get cut, right? I didn't get my shit broke, my nose, you know what I'm saying? But it was just an unfortunate situation. But niggas are all dogs at the end of the day. Niggas are all dogs. Niggas didn't run from the fight. Niggas got it in, and then after that, we fucking squashed it like men, because we realized that we had no beef with each other. Prior to that, we made one of the dopest songs we ever made as a group, and arguably one of the best collaborations as a group with that Tommy's thing. That
Made
joint
Men
that
and
we,
LOX. I
yeah,
love that shit.
like
That
come on,
song
man, like you know
fire.
what I'm saying,
That
like
song's
shit, what the
fire.
fuck, man? You know what I mean? So
That's Jada on the chorus, right?
Nah, made, yeah. Matter
And
of fact,
you
it
and
was.
Jada
Yup,
going. I think
yup,
you
it
and
was.
Jada
It was
going
Jada
back and
and
forth.
Styles. Yup.
Okay,
Yup.
then I'm there
Yup.
with you. I'm there.
Yup.
I'm there
Yup.
with you. I really
Yup.
appreciate the story. So
Man,
when I'm breaking it
likewise.
down, this is not about condemning anybody. I'm just make
Absolutely.
this clear. This platform, we love the LOX. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? We love
Yup.
Benzino. Benzino
Yup.
is part
Yup.
of hip
No, I
hop in my
appreciate
eyes
that.
on
No,
this
and I love it. I
platform.
love you.
All right.
I love the podcast. For real.
Now I don't
I
agree
love it.
with everything you do.
Right. Of course. Of course.
But overall, we talking about credibility. Him, anybody that says against that, I don't agree with that. We can
We
talk
got,
about we can
like
talk
my
about
thing is,
isolated incidents. We can talk about isolated shit. But your overall character, nah, Zeno solid.
no,
Really,
but
because
but
Miami
my
niggas
thing is,
fuck
I
with
want to
Zeno.
talk about every single isolated incident
We'll
that's brought
get
up,
there.
because
We'll get
yeah,
there. We gonna
for
get there.
sure.
Listen, we gonna get there.
Sure.
So boom. So now y'all niggas going through it. So Silverback Gorillas, Sheek is on the front line.
Yeah.
Sheek on the front line. Sheek talked that. And I'm not saying nothing about Jada, because shout out Jada and the new podcast he got with Joe.
Right.
A lot of controversy behind Joe too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy.
Unfortunately, man, it's all unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
He
It is
stepped
what it
into
is.
this arena. It's a little different. You're subject to being ridiculed, subject to being critiqued and ridiculed, and you kind of gave that up when you jumped in this arena. But we'll speak a little bit. But how you feel about that podcast with Jada and Joe right now?
I think it's good for hip hop. I think two pioneers as successful, especially in New York, as they are, being able to sit down and talk about hip hop. I think that's a good thing. I think that's it's always a good thing. I mean, the thing with it is, like, Joe already has a lot of stories out there. So, I kind of see where Joe wants to sit in with somebody and have somebody else with him, because himself telling the stories, what I'm saying, he probably at this point might have ran out of stories, what I'm saying? So it's just and not saying that to be funny, but I'm saying I like the fact that he's with somebody else. I always believe two heads are better than one. You know what I'm saying?
Do you like the actual conversation? Like, put everything aside. I know you have the camaraderie with them. Do you see that podcast? Is that something that you see yourself sitting down, like, really vibing to? Like, you know what? Let me take some time out of smoke a joint and watch these niggas right quick.
Me, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what's the subject is, what I'm saying? I can find some interesting shit that they're talking about. A lot of times, though, the way it's getting is, everything's territorialized. So, New York got a huge audience, so they're going to be able to attract a huge New York audience, because of them too and where they're at. Like if Trick Daddy in Miami, Eminem in Detroit, Scarface in Texas. So, they're two heavy hitters in New York. So the conversations will be cool. How long it lasts is what we're gonna see, and how it stands the test of time. How they do if they have guests. Podcasts are like kind of a watch and see thing. Sometimes you might have a real good some real good content, subject matter. Other times it's like you know what I'm saying? So that's like a wait and see. I just know that it looks good. With those two guys up there, it's a good look.
You like the set. You like the set. You like how it's looking.
I like it. Yeah. With me, I love podcasts that got great camera views and good work. You can tell that they, like they spend a little bit of coins on it. They got some good cameras, so I like the look. You know what I'm saying? And Kiss is gonna keep it interesting with his point of view. With me, what makes a great podcast, if it's just hip hop, then we're going to be good. But I just expand so many different subject matter that I could look at a lot of different podcasts. So they would be one of them. Yours would definitely be one of them too, my brother. I'm gonna start fucking with you.
Thank you, Chance. I appreciate that. We growing.
No, because I love your question, and what makes the podcast is the host. It's not necessarily the guest all the time. It's the host and what the fuck they're saying. You don't even know some of the shit that people be saying. Be like you'd be like, what the fuck, bro? You know what I'm saying? Not everybody deserves a mic in front of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's an honor, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Bro. Come on, man. You doing your fucking thing, man. Like you represent the people. And that's what it is. When I think when a podcast comes too much about them, that's why I start losing interest. If you represent the people, like how you said the people, you said we love the LOX. We said we love, you know what I mean? You ain't saying me, I, me. You're saying we. That's a telltale sign that, man, because that's what I think the greatest podcasts serve the people. Me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because to be honest.